What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Dragon Link deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is one of the most powerful decks to play this format. Being able to take the most powerful dragon cards in the entire game to make one extremely powerful deck is just amazing. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Star Liege. Star Liege is an amazing 3-of and is basically full combo. It has the ability you can send any number of dragon monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand whose level equals the total original level of those monsters sent to the graveyard. Meaning you can normal summon this card out to your side of the field and then send it to the graveyard to actually search out your copies of your black dragon to be able to just go full combo. I absolutely love that about this deck, that this card basically can just immediately search out your copy of Black Dragon and go full combo. It also has a really cool ability. You can manage this card from the graveyard and target a level 8 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Meaning you can actually grab your copy of Bestial Rebellion or Chaos Dragon Levenair from your grave back to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. Black Metal Dragon is a definite 3-of in the deck. Outside of your copy of Star Liege, this is the best normal summon in the deck, because if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is an amazing ability to normal summon out this card to your side of the field, make a copy of Striker Dragon, and then search out your copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Darkness Metal Dragon is super easy to summon, because then you just banish your copy of Striker Dragon away to summon out this card to your side of the field, and this card is a great ability that once per turn, you can special summon a dragon monster from your hand or graveyard, except a copy of this card, which is a great ability just to extend your plays. We then play 2 copies of Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer is a definite 2-of in the deck, and this card is amazing in this build because quick effect, you can target a face-up card that you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a rocket monster from your deck, except another copy of this card, but it does lock you into dark monsters from the extract for the rest of the turn, but that's not that big of a deal because some of our best boss monsters are dark. So this card is a definite 2-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Rocket Recharger. Rocket Recharger is just a great extender in the deck to be able to summon off your copy of Quick Launch, plus it's not a tuner, so you can go in for a bunch of different plays with this card. We then play a single copy of Rocket Caliber. I really like playing 4 different rocket names in the deck, being able to play the 2 copies of Tracer, 1 copy of Recharger, and 1 copy of Caliber. I feel like is the best number in the deck to play the 4 names in this deck. It's so helpful to be able to play because you always have one you can summon off of Quick Launch, and it's just so helpful in the deck. We then play a single copy of Absolouter Dragon. Absolouter is really good as a 1-of to be able to send off of Dragon's Ravine because this card is a great ability. If it's sent to the grave, you can add a rocket monster from your deck to your hand, so you can use this card to be able to search out your copy of your Rocket Tracer, which is so cool to be able to search because then you can boot Sector Launch, summon out your copy of Rocket Tracer, use Rocket Tracer, pop the boot sector, and then go full combo again, which is just amazing. We then play a single copy of Noctovision Dragon. Noctovision is just a great extender in the deck. You could play this card at 2 if you wanted to. I've been playtesting it at 1 and it's worked really well, so you could bump this card up to 2 by just adding in another copy. But it's really good in the deck because it's just a good extender that if a dark dragon monster is special summoned to your field, then you can special summon this card from your hand, and if this card is sent to the graveyard as a link material, you get to draw a card, which is a pretty good effect. We then play a single copy of Black Dragon. Black Dragon is really good to be able to search off your copy of Star Liege, and you just banish a light monster from the graveyard, which can be Star Liege that you banish from the graveyard, to actually summon out this card from your hand. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a copy of White Dragon from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of White Dragon. This card has to banish a dark monster from the graveyard to summon itself out to your side of the field, but it also searches out your copy of your Black Dragon if it does touch the graveyard, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Chaos Dragon Levenair. This card is a definite 1-of in the deck and is a crazy powerful boss monster that you banish a total of 3 light or dark monsters to be able to summon out this card to your side of the field. And if you only banish light, then you get to special summon a monster from the grave in defense. If you only banish dark, you shuffle 1 random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. And if you banish both light and dark, you can target 2 cards on the field and destroy them, which you're usually banishing light and dark to be able to use that effect to pop 2 cards on the field, so you can just go in for game. We then play for the Bystials. We're going to be playing 3 copies of Lubellium. This card is amazing in the deck to be able to just send to the graveyard and search out another Bystial monster. It also has a really cool ability if it's in your hand or your graveyard. You can tribute a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster, essentially one of your other Bystial monsters, to special summon out this card to your side of the field. And also once per turn during your main phase, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your side of the field, which is either going to be regained or your copy of Beast, depending on what you need to do. And if you had a copy of Sawnir, to be able to send your copy of Regained to the graveyard so that you can basically put it on your side of the field during the end phase with your copy of Beast. We then play 3 copies of Sawnir. You've got to play 3 copies of Sawnir in the deck. This card is amazing because all of your level 6 Bystials actually share a common effect that basically you can target a light or dark monster in either graveyard and banish it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. And it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, which is this card's unique ability, you can actually send a Bystial monster or a branded spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard, which is a great effect to be able to do. And a really cool combo in this deck is if you have a copy of Starliege in the graveyard, you can actually summon this card out to your side of the field, link it away for something, and then send your copy of Lubellium to the graveyard, and then banish Starliege to recover back your copy of Lubellium to essentially search out your copy of Lubellium and go in deeper for combos, which is just really cool. And I love that combo in the deck to be able to get to your copy of Lubellium. But the main combo you're going to do with this card is to send Regain to the graveyard and then summon out your copy of Lubellium to be able to bring back your copy of your Beast to your side of the field off Lubellion's ability. And then during end phase, you'll be able to recover the copy of Regain that you sent to the grave off this card's effect. We then play 2 copies of Druiswurm. This card is just great for spot removing cards off the field. I feel like 2 is really all you need in the main deck. It's really good, but I feel like 2 is all you need. We then play a single copy of Magnuma because this card is currently at 1. During the end phase, you can actually add a dragon monster from deck or graveyard to your hand if you special summon this card out to your side of the field. But it's really good in the deck as a 1-of to be able to search out basically anything you see on the screen currently, which is just absolutely insane. So that's it for the dragons. Let's get into the hand traps we're playing in this build. So for the hand traps, guys, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom and 3 copies of Nibiru. I feel like this is the perfect amount of hand traps in the deck. We're also playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence later in the traps, but these are pretty much all you need in the deck is 9 total hand traps in the deck. Nibiru just is in a crazy powerful position in this format, being able to just break your opponent's board. And then in this deck, it's super easy to go 1-card combo into some amazing fields. Ash Blossom is just really, really good this format to basically just stop your opponent from touching the deck. It's just a fantastic card. So that's it for the monster hand traps, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Chaos Space. Chaos Space is really good as a 1-of in the deck because it basically searches out a light or dark monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, basically searching out a bunch of cards in the deck. This card is super helpful in this build as a 1-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Branded Regain. This card is hands down one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck. Because if a light or dark monster is banished except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and place that monster on the bottom of the deck. And if you do, draw a card, which is a really cool ability to be able to use with this card. And then also once per turn, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can target one Bystial monster in the graveyard and special summon it, but you can only activate this effect of Branded Regained once per chain, which is insane about this card. I absolutely love this card in the deck, and it's so helpful to be able to use in this build. We then play a single copy of Dragon's Ravine. This card is basically Foolish Barrel, but searchable off of Romulus, which is why we're playing this card as a 1-of in the deck, because this card is just such a great extender in the build. Being able to send a dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard, especially something like an Apsa Router, so you can search out Tracer, which is just so cool. We then play a single copy of Boot Sector Launch. Boot Sector Launch is great because it lets you special summon 2 rocket monsters from your hand with different names in defense position, which is a really cool ability about this card, just to instantly get you 2 rockets on your side of the field so that you can extend your plays. Plus you can pop this card with Tracer that you summon out with this card's ability to get another rocket on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Quick Launch. Quick Launch is basically E-Telly for the deck to be able to summon out a copy of a rocket monster from your deck, which is a really awesome ability just to extend your plays or even start your plays, because this card or your copy of your Black Metal Dragon or even Star Leech are basically starters for the deck, which is just so cool, or you can use Quick Launch as an extender, which is really cool. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start off with a single copy of Branded Beast. Branded Beast is really good as a one-of in the build, because this card works really well with your copy of Lubellium, because once per turn, during your main phase, if you control a bestial monster, you can actually tribute a dragon monster and then target one card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is great to be able to pop a card on the field. Also, during the end phase, you can actually target a branded continuous spell trap in the grave and place it face up on the field, being able to grab cards like Regained that you send off of Saunir back to your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is a definite 3-of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects, and it's great to be able to play in the deck. So we're playing a total of 9 hand traps in the build besides your copies of your bestial monsters, but these are really good in the deck to be able to combine with your copies of Nibiru and Ash Blossom, basically just to stop your opponent in their tracks, which is just really, really good. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Boral End Dragon. This is our main boss monster we're trying to summon to our side of the field all the time, and basically just ends games. This card is insane. It has the ability, it cannot be destroyed by battle by card effect. Also, neither player can target this card with monster effects. And this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And quick effect, you can target one effect monster on the field and a rocket monster in your graveyard and negate the effects of that monster on the field. And if you do, special summon that other monster from your graveyard. And your opponent cannot activate cards and effects in response to this card's activation, and you only use effect this card once per turn. But a really cool thing is it does actually say that you can target an effect monster on the field, meaning you can actually target your own monster to be able to use it as a monster reborn. But it's also a walking negate, which is really good, which is a quick effect, so you can use it during your opponent's turn. This card is also a Link 5, but it's very easy to summon in this deck. We then buy a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's great in the deck to be able to pop multiple cards on the field. It's just an insane card overall. Play a single copy of Triple Burst Dragon. Triple Burst Dragon is just played for its arrows, but it's really good in the deck as a 1-of. One copy of Dark the Dark Charmer. This card is great for its arrows, and it helps you link climb in the deck. Play a single copy of SP Little Knight, because it's one of the most powerful link monsters in the entire game. Helps you with spot removal, and it's just an insane card. You can play Nightmare Unicorn over it if you want a more budget option, but it's a really insane card. It's basically a double interruption. We then play a single copy of Romulus. Romulus searches out Dragon's Ravine, but this card also has a really cool other effect that if a dragon monster is special summoned from your extract to a zone this card points to, except during the damage step, then you can actually special summon a dragon or a wing beast monster from your hand to defense position, which is a really cool ability to be able to just instantly get an additional monster onto your side of the field. We then play a single copy of IP. IP is just insane in the deck to be able to use your copy of SP Little Knight, or if you decide to play Nightmare Unicorn, to be able to just deal with cards on your opponent's side of the field. Play a single copy of Hieratic Seal. I feel like all you need is one in this deck. I play tested it too, and I never really went into the second copy, but this card is really amazing and is basically full combo. We then play a single copy of Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon is insane in the deck. Being able to summon out Star Leech, then make this card is just really good, and I love this card in the deck to be able to just basically summon out Star Leech, send it to grave, search out your copy of Black Dragon, banish Star Leech, summon out your copy of Black Dragon, make this card search Boot Sector and Light Dragon, and then be able to banish the copy of the Black Dragon with the grave, summon White Dragon to your side of the field, you search off the Black Dragon when it touches the grave, and then make seals if you want to. If you have more extenders, you can go further, but that is basically the main plays you're trying to go for in the deck, but you have a lot of other plays you can go for depending on what your hand is. But this card is a key card that you're going to want to play in the build. We then play a single copy of Guard Dragon Pisty. This card is a part of the combo to be able to summon out your copy of Borrel-In, and this card has a really cool ability. You can actually target, or you cannot special summon monsters except dragons, which is fine, but during your main phase, you can actually target one of your dragon monsters that's banished or in the graveyard and special summon to a zone that 2 or more link monsters point to, which usually is going to be your copy of Triple Burst, and this card that's going to point to the same zone, so you can actually summon out an additional monster to go in for Borrel-In, because this is 3, 4, and then whatever you bring back from the grave will make 5 to be able to summon out your copy of Borrel-In. We then play for the Synchro monsters when playing a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is amazing. This card is so good in the deck, and it's just really easy to summon because if you put both light and dark into this card, it has the ability that if you put a light monster and Synchro monster you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects, and it also has the ability that you put in dark monsters, monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle, making this card basically immortal, and it's really hard for your opponent to deal with. Plus, it's just insane. If you want a more budget option than this card, you can, I guess, play another copy of Seals. We then play a single copy of Dispatter. Dispatter is just really good in the deck, and you really need this card in this build. It's a walking negate. You can actually target a light or dark banished monster and special summon it back to your side of the field, which is just really good. And it also shuffles back banished cards, which is just insane. We then play a single copy of Baron de Fleur, which is a walking negate. We play a single copy of Borrel Savage, which again is very easy to make in this build. And then finally play a single copy of Starlight Red Dragon Archfiend. Red Dragon Archfiend is just amazing in time. You can side this card, but I really like this card in the main because it does pop cards on the field and does burn damage, which can help you close out games. Plus, it's a different level 8 that you can make if you don't have a link monster in the grave for Savage. So this card is a really good card to be able to make in the build. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Dragon Link before, definitely give this deck a try because it's super fun to be able to play. It basically just plays the best dragon monsters in the game, which is just super cool. I absolutely love it, and it's just a really, really good deck. It's one of the most powerful decks to be able to play currently in Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come burn notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.